Good morning. Welcome to Open Hand Farm. If you're new here, I am so glad to have you. Maybe you're here for the pantry challenge, but I have other videos that you might enjoy too. So take a peek before you leave and see if there's something there you like. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. And for sure, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Welcome to Sunday, day 1 of week 6 of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. You guys, last year I didn't make it this far. And I didn't think I was going to this year with all the illnesses we've had in our home. But here we are in February. It is the 4th of February, and I just was thinking, wow, week 6, 7, 8, 9, this is going to be over before we know it. And yet it has been a challenge. For those of you who are not trying to record every meal you make and everything that you make before you eat it, you don't realize how hard that can be. Sometimes I just want to run in here, cook dinner, be done, and go sit down. But it doesn't work that way. But I am so happy that you're enjoying these videos, and I love hearing your comments. So don't forget to leave me a comment on something that I made that you like, or questions, or suggestions of something you'd like to see me make. Today is Sunday, like I said, so we're heading off to church soon. I just had some overnight oats with my fermented honey cranberries and my fermented granola in it, and half of one of my favorite sprouted bagels. Now, I have a treat though. For lunch, I don't have to cook. My youngest daughter is bringing us Chinese for lunch, so I'm really excited about that. I'll show you what she brought me when she comes. So my favorite dish is mushu pork, and it has these little pancakes, they call them, to roll it up in, and plum sauce to put on it. So delicious. Best part is, I didn't have to cook. Hey, welcome to Monday morning. I have already had breakfast. I know this will surprise you. I had my overnight oats with my fermented honey cranberries and my fermented granola, my favorite. I have about 4 more of those in the refrigerator, so basically just remember that that's what I'm having for breakfast this week, and I won't keep repeating myself. We did something special today. I went and had a cup of coffee at a coffee shop. So yes, I spent money on coffee, but it was really special because one of our ladies in our community, who is in her 70s, has started a brilliant art career. And she had all of these wonderful paintings that were going to be displayed at a coffee shop very close to our house. And I wanted to go see them. Well, unfortunately, they had not been hung yet, but they were sitting on the counter getting ready to be hung. So before we left, I was able to kind of push through them and look at them. And I've got some pictures here for you. I hope that when I'm in my 70s, I'm starting new things, because why not? I hope you are too. Let me know if you are. I want to know what you're starting new and different after the age of 70. Or after the age of 60. I'll take that one too. I forgot to tell you last night that I was putting together some sourdough bread to take to a family in our community that is sick right now. So I just mix it together like all the other sourdough breads I mix together, but I did add some Parmesan cheese and Italian herbs to these loaves. So they will have an Italian taste to them. It's one of my favorites, actually, but I just wanted to let you know that. And now I will show you how I'm going to get them ready to go in the oven. I have a full video on making this sourdough bread. I will leave the link in the description box. Now it will sit for 30 minutes, and then I will cut it and put it in the oven. Can you see the cheese and herbs in this bread? I put a little flour on top so when I cut it, the cuts show a little better. For lunch, I had leftover Chinese food from what my daughter brought yesterday. And tonight we have our community dinner. We have that once a month on the first Monday of every month. So that's today. I put together some sourdough cornbread, and it will need to ferment for about 4 hours before I bake it. So as it gets closer to dinner, I'll put that in the oven. I just went down and did some shopping in my larder and my freezer to get some things that I'm going to need for our dish for tonight. Let me show you what I've got. I've decided to make the sweet potato chili casserole that I made last week because I have some of the smoked turkey that I wanted to use. So I got some sweet potatoes, and they are the purple sweet potatoes. I need 2 cups of those. I got some fire roasted peppers. Last week I used some smoked ones. These I just cooked on the grill, so they have a fiery taste to them as well. More of my chipotle black beans that I can, and more of the fire roasted tomatoes, and an onion, and I have some garlic up here still, so I didn't have to bring it up from downstairs. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and we will have our Bible study again, and we always bring food to share with everybody, kind of a potluck, but it's always on a theme. So tomorrow night is breakfast. I brought up some sausage to put on a breakfast pizza. I made sourdough pizza dough a couple of days ago, so I have a pizza dough left in the fridge that I will use to make the breakfast pizza. And I also got some jowl meat because we were talking about jowl meat last week, and people thought it sounded really gross. You guys, if you have never had jowl bacon, it's the best ever. You should try it. So I got some of that too. And that way I'm prepared for what I need to do tomorrow to get ready for Bible study as well. Now I'm going to put together this casserole, but I'm not going to walk you through it. If you want to see how to make it, go to my week 5 video and you'll see all the things that you need to see to make this dish. It's delicious. So together, I have sweet potatoes, onions, garlic, and peppers in here. Now I'm going to add my seasonings, which are chili powder, cumin, oregano, and a tiny little bit of ground chipotle peppers. I will add the chipotle black beans that I can. And then I'm going to add fire roasted tomatoes. The turkey I have was a turkey breast that we smoked. All right, we're going to stir all of that in. And the broth I'm adding is broth that I made from the turkey carcass that we smoked. So it has a smoky flavor as well.
Darn it.
Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday of week 6. I had my normal for breakfast, my overnight oats with fermented cranberries and fermented granola. And then I fed my sourdough into a gallon jar because I'm going to be making waffles for our Bible study tonight. The theme tonight is breakfast. So I'm going to make waffles, but I'm also going to use the second pizza crust that I made last week to make a breakfast pizza. So I laid out my sausage and some bacon last night so it would be ready. And now it's time for lunch. We've been to the gym, we've run some errands, it's time to eat so I can go ahead and decide what else we're gonna accomplish today. We're gonna have some little taco thingies, but I'm gonna use some of the ground beef that I have canned. And for the green part of it, I'm gonna use sprouts. So I'm gonna just open this can and put it in a container and add a little bit of taco seasoning to it and pop it in the microwave, and then we'll put our tacos together. Okay, I went ahead and softened my shells a little bit in the microwave. I always like to add my sour cream first so that I can kind of spread it around. And we'll add some meat. This is a great way to use canned meat because it has the flavoring of the taco seasoning. Not that it tastes bad, but it's definitely a little bit different tasting. But I love being able to just open that jar and have tacos for lunch. We were gonna buy some greens at the store the other day and they just looked terrible. So we're eating sprouts. There's lunch. Went ahead and par-baked the crust for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I spread the gravy on it as a sauce of sorts. Then the cheese was added and the sausage put on top of that. Then the scrambled eggs. Now these eggs, I did not cook hard on the stove. They are actually kind of wet because they're going to be baked again, and I didn't want them too hard when the pizza was done. Then I added a little bit of mozzarella on top. I mean, you can never have too much cheese on a pizza. I topped that with the jowl bacon that I chopped up into little pieces so that it would be right on top and get a little crispier in the oven. I put it in the oven for about 10 minutes, just enough to melt the cheeses and warm it all up. And then I put it in a box and it was ready to take. Okay, for Wednesday, we had a lot going on. I know that's the theme of our life, and that's okay. It works for us. So we had a dear friend pass away at church. So Tuesday night, when I got home from Bible study, I mixed up 2 loaves of just plain sourdough bread, got up the next morning and baked them. I had already set a date with my daughter quite a while back for us to go eat sushi. I don't really eat raw sushi, but it's at a sushi place. So I'm saying we're gonna go eat sushi. So we dropped the bread off at our church for the dinner for the family. And then we went to our sushi date. My favorite thing at this sushi place is the crab rangoon. So good. And the salad is really good. It was so nice to have real greens and to like bite into crispy lettuce. It was nice. I forgot to actually take a picture of the yummy roll that I have, which is eel and cream cheese and seaweed and avocado rolled together, and then panko on the outside and deep fried, and a spicy eel sauce on top. So good. That's as close to sushi as I get, but it's delicious. So I didn't get a picture of that, but here is part of our lunch. And then Wednesday night, Mark goes to church and leads our children's program. So we just had leftovers for dinner because I wasn't very hungry and he had had quite a big lunch at school. So we were good with that. Good morning. Welcome to Thursday of week 6. This morning I have mixed up some bread to take to a friend who is sick. And I also had, surprise, surprise, oats, overnight oats for breakfast. We're gonna go outside and work in the chicken house and kind of clean it out. And then I'm gonna come back in and we'll start getting ready for our ladies' coffee group today. I made bread on Monday morning and I ended up not using one of those loaves. It was the Italian herb bread. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna make grilled cheese sandwiches and open some jars of tomato soup that I made in August. And that's what I'm serving today. So we'll get on that when we're done with the chickens. I have a tomato soup area. I put some heavy whipping cream out in case somebody wanted to add that. Then I had a grilled cheese area where I would make the grilled cheese. And then we always have our coffee area where I have an air pot that I make coffee and put in. And I always have creamers and sugars available too. Well, the ladies went home after coffee, and then I did a little bit of work in my office, and then I remembered that today was Thursday, which meant Kaylee cooks dinner on Thursday, so I didn't have to worry about it. So let me show you what we had. We had kind of a white chicken chili with homemade tortillas. Oh my word, it was so good. And of course the toppings of cilantro and tomato made it even more delicious. And I also did get that loaf of bread made after the ladies left. And we got some jars of soup and bread taken over to my friend that's sick. And now the evening's over and I'm gonna collapse. So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. I have been outside and I've been in the greenhouse doing some work. I'm really kind of sad. We had this huge, like 5-foot by 5-foot rosemary bush that was in the greenhouse when we moved here. And it has survived for the 5 years we've been here. And last month when we had our negative 11-degree weather for so many nights and cold negative during the days, it just couldn't do it. And so I was trimming off, and all there is left is this stump with twigs coming off of it. My hope is that it did not die underground and that it will grow again. But I don't know. And that really makes me sad. I loved walking into the greenhouse with this beautiful rosemary scent, and I would just cut and give rosemary to anybody that wanted it. And now it's gone. It breaks my heart. So anyway, it's Friday and my heart is broken. But for breakfast, you know what I had. I'm not even gonna tell you. For lunch, I'm gonna have some nachos with the leftover canned hamburger meat that I put taco seasoning in. I'm gonna make some nachos. I'm also learning the privileges of being the owner of an air fryer. When I went to sushi with my daughter on Wednesday, I bought some crab rangoon and didn't eat it all. So I put that in the air fryer and it's so crunchy and nice. I love this. So I'm gonna have those, finish those off. So you can just watch me throw my nachos together, and I don't even know what's for dinner, you guys. I've got an appointment I gotta go to. I've been working in the greenhouse. I have been taking care of the animals and cleaning up some different things. So I'm gonna have to really think about this. But let's have lunch and then we'll worry about that. We're kind of down to the end of the chips. We've got a lot of smaller pieces. So when this happens, let me show you what I do. I just embrace the small and I eat it with a fork or spoon. At this point, I'm gonna add my Chipotle Tabasco that I love, and then some cheese. And then I'll pop this in the microwave and be back. Okay, Now, I'm using up this squeezed sour cream that I bought for a community dinner thing we did, and I need to get it eaten. Okay. So I'm using up a lot of leftovers today. And for my greens, once again, I'm using my sprouts. I haven't used them a lot this week, but they're still very nice. And there's lunch. All right, it's Friday evening, and my plan was to come home from the doctor's office and make some noodles and some Alfredo sauce. And I have some broccoli chopped up in the fridge. So I was just gonna make a broccoli Alfredo mixture. And instead, the rest of the evening went crazy. My son went to come home from work and the brake line was broken. So he had to be gotten, and then we had to get him back over to his work for his father-in-law to pick up the van. And then Kaylee had to go meet up with them to get him again. And I had kids. It was crazy. So we just ate a very late dinner, and I just had overnight oats because I didn't feel like messing with anything else. Mark had some little chicken sandwich things that we had in the freezer from Costco, and he had those. So that sums up our Friday.